Hello everyone, welcome to IELTS Speed Up course offered by Thompson School. And this is the third class of IELTS Speed Up reading, and today guys we are going to focus on which paragraph contains questions and multiple choice. So first of all, you should understand that these question types are complicated but not that difficult. So if you know right techniques and of course you follow these rules all the time, you will not have any difficulties. First of all, let's start from which paragraph contains questions. You should understand that answers in this question type don't come in order. This is the main reason why these question types are considered to be complex. And of course, sometimes you might be given similar options, and this is really difficult to differentiate. So, this is another reason why they are so complicated. However, I want to remind you basic exam techniques. You probably remember them from previous classes, but anyway, you should actually start from questions, never start from the passage, read the titles, underline keywords. You remember these rules, and of course, extra tips, reading speed. So choose appropriate one for you, because if you try to read really fast and if you don't understand anything, I think this is meaningless. And of course, only scan for names or numbers, never go deep into details. And of course, if you have any difficulties with certain question, leave it behind. So do not spend too much time on one question only. So let's start from techniques that you might useful for which paragraph contains questions. First of all, you should understand that you should leave this question for the last. You should do all other questions first, and of course you should be more familiar with the passage, with the text, and that's the point where you might even get the answers from the memory. And of course, work with keywords, because you never have to read the whole text. You should simply skim and scan. So keywords will help you a lot. And of course, read the shortest or easiest paragraph, because guys, we are interested in finding correct answer. And so you should manage your time wisely. And of course, information that you remember reading about, start from this paragraphs, and of course start from easy keywords that you can scan for. Difficult, so leave this until last. And of course, let's consider one sample together. First, these are the questions, and of course you are given paragraphs and you should match them. The first one is a cost involved in purifying domestic water. So if you remember, when I was explaining you headings, I showed you the technique, paraphrasing the sentences, making them more simple and easier to remember. So cost involved in purifying domestic water. So when you're cleaning domestic water, what is the cost? You probably understand, right? Cost. And of course you remember, this is not just about money. So second one, the stages in the development of the farming industry. Probably, I think it's clear, this is quite straightforward. The stages means like step by step, every single. So first you had this, then this, and okay. So the term used to describe hidden costs. So term, you probably understand, right? So terminology, word that is used to describe hidden costs. And of course the last is one effect of chemicals on water sources. So how chemicals might affect water sources. So we will see. Okay, you probably remember all four questions, and we will start from paragraph A. So look, for the first question, you should be looking for cost, guys. So price, or what we lose if we try to purify, to clean domestic water. The next like stages, then terminology, certain word, and then effect of chemicals on water sources. So probably in paragraph A, for more than 40 years the cost of food has been rising. Now reached the point where a growing number of people believe that it's far too high, and that bringing it down will be one of the great challenges of the 21st century. That cost, however, is not in immediate cash. In the West, at least, most food is now far cheaper. Okay, so in this paragraph, we have no information about these questions, and wow, here in B we have, okay, first, mechanizations and mass use of chemical fertilizers and pesticides, then monocultures, then battery rearing of livestock, and now genetic engineering. The onward march of intensive farming has seemed unstoppable in the last half century as the yields of produce have soared. So you see here first mechanizations and mass use of chemical fertilizers. So these are the stages. So step by step. So how, let's say, our how farming, or let's say our intensive farming has been developing. So step by step description. So probably if you remember, there was the stages. So this is the answer here. And of course you can look at the other highlighted area. Natural soil fertility is dropping in many areas because of continuous industrial fertilizer and pesticide use, while the growth of algae is increasing in lakes because of the fertilizer runoff. So you can see here what they want to say. So while the growth of algae is increasing in lakes because of the fertilizer runoff. So fertilizers are special chemicals that are used to improve the productivity of the soil, of the land that we are using for farming. So this is how chemicals are affecting, let's say, domestic water. So we have lakes here. So this stands for domestic water, and fertilizers like stand for chemicals, and of course how it's affecting, while the growth of algae is increasing in lakes because of the fertilizer runoff. So less fertilizers, more algae. So algae is, okay, these are the plants. So seaweeds and other plants also, let's say, are part of algae. And okay, you can see here the stages in the development of the farming industry is B, and one effect of chemicals on water sources is B as well. So let's continue. Now we have paragraph C, that is mainly because the costs of all this damage are what economists refer to as externalities. So what they want to say in this sentence, they want to say that economists call it externalities. So this is special terminology. They are outside the main transaction, which is, for example, producing and selling a field of wheat, and are borne directly by neither producers nor consumers. So the answer for the third one, the term used to describe hidden costs, is C. And here, the cost included, and of course the cost included 120 million pounds for removal of pesticides, 16 million for removal of phosphates and soil, 23 million pounds for the removal of the bug cryptosporidium from drinking water by water companies. So to clean drinking water, we should spend this amount of money, so 120 million pounds, just to remove pesticides. So other bacteria or other chemicals will be still there. And of course, the answer is E. I think you probably got the point, as well as you have good skimming and scanning skills. You will not have any difficulties with this question type, and of course you should have good vocabulary, because you should paraphrase these sentences into simple language. You should never forget this, because if you paraphrase them and you understand this well, you will not have any difficulties when it comes to understanding the statement and of course the text. Okay, I hope you got the point, and I want you to practice this question type. Of course, you will see the home assignment in the end. Okay, guys, so this is the logic and techniques that you can use when it comes to which paragraph contains questions. And of course, I want you to fill this keyword table. You probably remember this from previous classes. This is one of your home assignments. And now I would like to move to the next question type. This is multiple choice. You probably understand what is multiple choice. You will be given question and possible answers, and your task is to choose appropriate answer. So let's look at the techniques that can make your life easier. So first of all, you should paraphrase the information in the question and options. So this is really important, because whenever you're given question in IELTS reading, guys, you should understand it first of all. That's the idea why you should paraphrase the questions, answers, sentences. You should remember them, you should understand them well. And of course, when it comes to multiple choice, this is really important, because you should remember that answers will be paraphrased in the passage. So you should be reading for the gist, you should understand the context, and of course locate the precise information in the passage. So it means you should be able to work with keywords, you should highlight appropriate words, and of course find the part in the passage and read it carefully, and of course find the answers. And good news about this question type is that answers come in order, and of course answers are usually letters like A, B, C, D. You probably understand the logic. So first, paraphrase the information in the question and options. You should understand it very well and remember them, and of course using keyword techniques, skimming and scanning, you should find appropriate chunk in the passage and read this part carefully. And of course, you should remember that answers come in order. This is really helpful. Okay, this is sample text, guys. Let's consider this question. The example of the $1 Million Quartet underlines the writer's point about. So what writer wants to say with example of $1 Million Quartet? You probably got the point. And A, recognizing talent. Okay, you probably understand, right? Discovering talent. B, working as a team. C, having a shared objective. And D, being an effective leader. So B, you probably got the point, working as a team, so working together. C, having a shared objective, having the same aim, so planning, okay, believing in the same, let's say, goal. And D, being an effective leader. So here, using our skimming and scanning techniques, we found like $1 million quartet, and now we should read this part carefully. Sand's $1 million quartet could have been a quintet. Missing from the picture is Roy Orbison, a great natural singer than Lewis, Perkins, or Cash. Sam Phillips, who owned Sun, wanted to revolutionize popular music with songs that fused black and white music and country and blues. Presley, Cash, Perkins, and Lewis instinctively understood Phillips' ambition and believed in it. Orbison was not inspired by the goal and only ever achieved one hit with the Sun label. So you probably got the point here. So there was a quartet that could have been a quintet. So one person is missing from the picture. And why? Because other four instinctively believed in the ambition, in the idea, but he was not inspired, and the only thing he got was one hit. And so it's nothing about talent. So working as a team, we didn't have any information about this. Okay, having a shared objective. So the answer is C. These other four became successful because they believed in this ambition, and he was not, and nothing about leadership. Now, question number 2. In the second question, you can see James Watson suggests that he and Francis Crick won the race to discover the DNA code because they claim or they say that they won this race, so they discovered DNA code first because A, were conscious of their own limitations. So conscious means aware, so they knew it. They knew their own limitations, so their limits. Okay? B, brought complementary skills to their partnership. So complementary means if one of them was weak at something, the other one was stronger, so they complemented each other. Okay? Were determined to outperform their brighter rivals. So rivals means opponents, brighter means like smarter, outperform means win or became better, and determined means it was like clear from the beginning, but okay. D, encouraged each other to realize their joint ambition. So they both motivated each other to realize their common ambition, common goal. Now, so we should find here, guys, keywords, and in the previous question we had $1 million quartet. It was like perfect keyword, and here we have names that can help us, and of course discovering the DNA code. But okay, James Watson and Francis Crick. So here we have something about Cialdini, but okay, still, and this is our part. When asked how they had cracked the code ahead of an array of highly accomplished rival investigators, he said something that stunned me. He said he and Crick had succeeded because they were aware that they were not the most intelligent of the scientists pursuing the answer. The smartest scientist was called Rosalind Franklin, who, Watson said, was so intelligent she rarely sought advice. So Watson mentions that he and Crick had succeeded because they knew, they were aware of that they were not the smartest. So they knew their limits. Okay, the answer is A. They knew that they are not the smartest, so there are other scientists smarter than them, and they are not needed in any advice, but they should work really hard. So the answer is A. Now, question number 3. Writer mentions competitions on breakfast cereal packets as an example to, okay, inspire creative thinking, generate concise writing, promote loyalty to a group, strengthen commitment to an idea. So inspire creative thinking means, probably you got it right, so inspiration to think in a very creative way, and generate concise writing, promote loyalty to a group, strengthen commitment to an idea. Okay, all of them are quite straightforward and not difficult. And okay, the key word here is going to be competitions on breakfast cereal. So here you can see writing, visualizing, and prototyping can stimulate the flow of new ideas. Caldini cites scores of research papers and historical events that prove that even something as simple as writing deepens every individual's engagement in the project. So, it is, he says, the reason why all those competitions on breakfast cereal packets encouraged us to write in saying in no more than 10 words, I like Kellogg's cornflakes because the very act of writing makes us more likely to believe it. So, what is the logic of breakfast cereal packets? So, why they write it? They write it minimum in 10 words, so they like it, so they believe it again and again, and it strengthens their belief. And writing deepens every individual's engagement in the project. So this is the answer. D. Strengthen commitment to an idea. So deepens is a perfect synonym for the word strengthen. Commitment is engagement, so you can say it's paraphrased every individual's engagement, and of course idea has been paraphrased as project. And of course the fourth question, in the last paragraph the writer suggests that it is important for employees too. So you should look at the last paragraph and what writer is recommending for employees, for workers to, okay, A, be aware of their company's goals. So workers should know what their company wants. B, feel that their contributions are valued. So they should feel that if they do something for the company, it will be rewarded, it will be valued, respected. And of course C, have respect for their co-workers' achievements. So workers should respect others who have achieved something. Okay, understand why certain management decisions are made. So they should understand why management is actually making certain decisions. Okay, this is the last paragraph here. Leaders should encourage everyone to contribute and simultaneously assure all concerned that every recommendation is important to making the right decision and will be given full attention. So leaders should encourage everyone to contribute and simultaneously assure. So they should encourage everyone, motivate that they will work harder to try to do something, and at the same time make sure that they know that every idea, every recommendation will be taken into account and paid attention. So the answer is B. Feel that their contributions are valued. Okay, it will be paid attention, they should assure. So probably you got the point. This is very simple, guys. Okay, this is keyword table, guys, for you. Okay, underlines is given as emphasize. Okay, having a shared objective, wasn't inspired by the goal, so this is antonym. And of course you should be aware of this. And of course, guys, this is the end of our today's lesson, and your home assignment is going to be visit IELTSonlinetests.com and go through which paragraph contains and multiple choice questions and send screenshots of your results to the group. And of course, check your answers and prepare a keyword table for each test. This is very important. You should work on your vocabulary, guys, and probably by the end of the course you will need, let's say, very strong vocabulary to get a good score. And of course, translate and learn all the vocabularies and collocations. This is very important, guys. And thank you for your attention, guys. See you next time.